Hey, Peculiar people. Thanks for tuning into the latest from Peculiar on Purpose. "2020 forced us to change a lot, especially with how we do things. And for most of us, we're still feeling the effects as we kick off this new year. So today I want to talk a little bit about some of the challenges we've encountered and lessons learned as we continue trying to adjust to recent life changes, especially those caused by the pandemic. Plus, it's Black History Month, y'all. So you know I got to do it one time for the culture. Every Wednesday this month, I have highlighted a phenomenal Black woman who has or still is making history. So you can check that out on Facebook and Instagram at Peculiar on Purpose. Also, speaking of social media, I recently saw some foolery about how Black History Month affects other people and hurts other people. So yes, ma'am, we're gonna talk about that too. Y'all ready to get into these peculiar posts? Let's go. I've experienced a few major changes during this pandemic. The first one being that in the fall of 2020, my husband and I moved way across the country to a new city where we didn't have any family or friends. So at first everything was cool as we settled in and we started to explore the area. But as we got out and about and I saw other people who looked fun and relatable, I quickly realized this is going to be tricky to meet new people and grow a community. Y'all already know it's so difficult to make friends as an adult, but think about trying to meet new people during a pandemic. You got this mask on and you gonna go up to somebody and be like, hey, I know you don't know me and we're supposed to be socially distancing, but I'm new to the area and you look nice. Wanna be friends? So I begin to think, okay, how are we going to make connections when you're supposed to be socially distant right now? Is it even worth it to try? Is it too risky? First, we don't have churches doing in-person events. Then all the young professional groups that we saw in this area are only doing virtual meetups. And virtual is cool, don't get me wrong, but I am such a people person. My husband and I are huge extroverts. So in-person connections just work better for us. So enter meetup.com. I first started going on Meetup when I moved to the DC area years ago, but it's been a while since I've been on there. So to my surprise, when I was searching the site, I found a group that was just starting, and that week they were having their first in-person gathering. So of course, we had some reservations, like are they gonna be wearing masks or socially distancing? Again, should you even be trying to meet people during a pandemic? Is that being too risky and irresponsible? But we decided to go to the event, and I tell you what, it quickly showed me that all of us are out here in the same boat, trying to navigate these uncertain pandemic waters. So the purpose in me writing this post was, one, I don't want the time that we're in and the fact that we're supposed to be socially distancing to cause social neglect. No matter how you choose to connect with people, I don't think the how, whether in person or virtual, should overshadow the fact that you should make an effort to stay connected. We weren't meant to live in isolation, y'all. We need each other. So I just implore all of us to not forsake our relationships during this time. And the other reason I wrote this post is because I know a lot of people who would and did side-eye us for going and meeting people physically during this pandemic. But I just want to put out there that we shouldn't judge people on how they're choosing to connect during this time. At the event, I met people who had just moved to this area and they haven't found an easy time of meeting people. And also some people who moved last year, like let's say February, and then the pandemic hit, and so they've been isolated. A lot of them lived alone. I mean, depression is real, especially from isolation. So you just never know what people are going through. And I don't think that we should judge anyone who's still making an effort to stay connected during this time. Again, we need each other. If you feel comfortable and safe meeting in person, great for you. If virtual is the only way you want to do it, that's cool too. What matters most is that we're making an effort to either develop new relationships or strengthen and flourish the ones that we already have. This pandemic has changed the way we work, and many of us are still trying to adjust in 2021, including me. For the past 5 years, I worked for one of the most prestigious top secret government agencies. I've had mind-blowing experiences. It was incredibly challenging, but incredibly rewarding, and I've met tons of fascinating and talented people. But in the fall of 2020, I walked away from it all. The job security, the salary, the security clearance, everything. And it wasn't a small decision because in the quarantine, the job paid me 2 months to stay at home. We couldn't even work from home. And when I went back, though I was only working bi-weekly because they had us on shifts, they still paid us like we were full-time. I mean, this was a secure job, especially in an uncertain time. But for the longest, I've always felt like I've been called to an unconventional role. I didn't always know exactly what this looked like, but I knew the 9-to-5 wasn't for me. And last year, I really felt that the Lord was showing me that then was the time to take the leap of faith and pursue my purpose. What happens when that transition in the pursuit isn't so glamorous? I mean, I went from working with people to working completely alone by myself in a new city where I don't know anybody in a pandemic. Then I go from a structured 9-to-5, know exactly what I'm doing, when I'm doing it, to I have to create my own schedule. And that's hard when you can get up when you want to get up and go to bed when you want to go to bed. You have to be very disciplined. And on top of that, I've certainly struggled when people have asked me, so what exactly are you doing? Why did you leave that good government job? Let's be real. When your answer is, oh, I'm pursuing my purpose, it sounds like you're either confused, unemployed, or both. So during the past few months, the Lord has really shown me that my biggest issue with this transition to unconventional work is because, unfortunately, I have put my confidence and my identity in a false sense of productivity. My last job was very traditional, and I defined who I was by how I worked. I was always busy and stressed and exhausted at the end of each day, burnt out. My health wasn't the greatest because of how much I worked. I gave everything to that job. But no one could tell me that I wasn't something because I was grinding. But being here and working at a different pace and even trying to define work for myself, God has shown me that He never designed for us to work from a place of stress, but from a place of rest. Am I preaching? I might have a sermon in me, y'all. So I wanted to write this post because I really have struggled with this transition. And I know a lot of people have with the different ways that they've had to change how they work. But I'm so thankful for the journey God is taking me on because He's shown me that it doesn't matter what you do, how you do it, or how often you do it. Your job is not who you are. It is not your identity. God's love alone validates us and makes us worthy. And so the purpose for writing this post was really to show what God is showing me, that you can be productive and still have peace. The world definitely defines work and productivity and success and you being somebody as you collapsing and being exhausted at the end of each day. But that's not how God defines it. Proverbs 31 is a great Christian women's organization. They have devotions and Bible studies, and I have followed them since I was a teenager. So at the beginning of this month, they posted on Instagram to honor the start of Black History Month. And a lot of the women left some pretty unfortunate comments. Comments were like, where's White History Month? And why not just American History Month? And one woman even said that when stores and websites display Black-only products or feature Black businesses, it's segregation. Anyway, it's exhausting to see a negative response every time Black people or Black culture are recognized. It's 2021. Why is Black History Month still a debate topic? This Instagram foolishness inspired me to write a blog post. And the purpose for the post is to hopefully put to rest a few of the most common arguments in this redundant debate about Black History Month. Number one, Black History Month is in February, the shortest month of the year to discriminate against Black people. Black History Month began as Negro History Week, and it was chosen to be celebrated during the month of February, a week specifically in February, to honor the birthdays of President Lincoln, George Washington, and Frederick Douglass. Black people chose this time for Black History Month to be celebrated. 2, it's not right to honor one group and not honor others. If you go to the Library of Congress, you will see that they list 8 different groups having official observance days. Enough said. 3, doesn't having these celebratory months and honoring different groups cause divisions? I think this is an interesting one because a lot of non-Black people like to say this when they're arguing about why Black History Month matters. But I do want to question people. Do you just have an issue when Black people are publicly recognized? Because I don't hear anyone denouncing Women's History Month. And number 4, shouldn't Black History Month be celebrated all year and not just one month? I would say yes, the same as Mother's Day and Father's Day and Jesus's birthday. I know the December date is to be debated. We have to think about the root of Black History Month and Negro History Week. It was designed to educate the masses on the unknown and untaught contributions of African Americans in this country. Most of us, and that includes Black people, do not know the history of Black people in this nation. So I don't think there's anything wrong with having a set time in the year that the nation shifts its focus to Black people and their contributions. Yes, we should celebrate Black history every day. Black people live Black history and make Black history every day. And there are many groups who advocate for this and educate about it daily. But again, there's nothing wrong with having a set time, just like Mother's Day and Father's Day, where you publicly honor, as a nation, a group of people. And another reason I wrote this post is because it was really sad and disheartening to see the lack of support on a Christian post. Above everyone else, we as Christians should value that God made us equally and different, and both reflect His image. It's so unfortunate that you go to a Christian post and instead of seeing Christ's love reflected, you see in the world with divisions and arguments and debates. Should we not be the ones that model what love looks like and that it supports and advocates not only for those who look differently than us, but for those who are unrepresented and those who are underserved and often cannot advocate for themselves? Come on, saints. We got to do better. So thanks for hanging out with me and checking out the latest from Peculiar on Purpose. My name is Shayla, and I'm the writer behind Peculiar on Purpose, and I would love to connect with you more. So visit the blog, peculiaronpurpose.com, and comment, share. I'd love to have a conversation with you. If you've ever felt peculiar and you would like relatable content to your experiences and your life, this is the platform for you. You can sign up to receive the monthly newsletter, and it'll have the latest peculiar posts, including a video recap, just like the one today. And you can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And now we're on YouTube, so if reading isn't your thing or you just don't have the time, you can watch me recap the latest blog post. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. Until next time, I hope that you be blessed and stay peculiar.